Good day, my name is Alexey Bobrovnikov, and now I'm going to tell you about the financial accounting capabilities in 1C ERP World Edition application. The agenda of our meeting are financial accounting approach in ERP and data sources for it, ability of accounting in management and local currencies, multiple charts of accounting settings, financial report types and flexible settings for them. What's new in 257 ERP World Edition for financial accounting, and new settings for ledger accounts and ledger transactions. First of all, we need to look at the data source for financial accounting. This is the operational accounting. The accounting objects are cash, vendors, customers, and others. The objects have registers and tables with data. Management accounting and local accounting and international accounting can use all operational data to create ledger entries. Type of accounting in ERP can be different: local or national accounting, separately tax accounting, management accounting, and optional international accounting. The system can use multiple charts of accountings, but in data source it has only two amounts: the local accounting and the management accounting amounts. So there are two sources for general ledger: local or management amounts data. This is the scheme illustrating the place of IFRS accounting. It can use the local accounting data as a source, and the management accounting is separately from them. Another scheme relate to the case when IFRS accounting is based on management accounting data and the local accounting is separately from them. The first setting of financial accounting set in Master Data and Settings, General Ledger menu. It needs to set the main option General Ledger to On mode. Then we can optionally enable the multiple charts of accounts option. We need to choose the source of accounting currency for functional currency from local or management accounting data. The presentation currency using in the reports can be different from functional currency if it needs. There is the next important option for posting type mode, entries by operational accounting data option. Here we see two options for ledger posting. Setting by accounting objects is the new feature of 257 version. We will talk about it later. For new empty database, there will be only one ledger posting option, a new one. The existing database will have two options for ledger posting. The accounting model will, with all settings, can be exported to file and imported from external file. The export and import tool is temporarily disabled in ERP World Edition with English code version. Let's speak about the ability of different interpretation of the cost and expenses for management and local accounting. The different interpretations for local and management accounting is based on settings of expensed items. Cost in management and local accounting can be recognized in different way, which gives a different financial result for the period. The general ledger subsystem of ERP consists of accounting model. The chart of accounts is customizable for reporting needs. Posting setting, the settings for ledger transaction based on operational data. And financial report generator and settings for reports. Master data for general ledger consists of chart of accounts, financial accounting groups, posting scheme, and using it in companies. Settings of financial accounts by operational data, financial report types, and financial report sets. Now let me show you all of this master data in the system. I open the general ledger subsystem and then go to settings and catalogs, a new item. Here we see all of master data tables. Let's open chart of accounts. In the header of the form, we see filter for accounting time in case if we have multiple charts of accounts. The chart of accounts can be empty. To set it whatever you need. You can use our demo base for change or study the accounting model with ready settings for ledger posting and reports, and then export it and import to your base for using. The ledger account has extra dimension settings for additional analysis purpose, and also it has some settings for currency, quantity, using of line of business and of business unit. The next master data is a posting scheme. It is a container of all settings for ledger posting, special modes of posting, and the settings of ledger accounts for month closing procedure. For example, we configure exchange different accounting. Here we can see the accounts to exchange difference for functional and presentation currencies. Well, now we need to turn on the posting scheme for a company and set the start date of applying it. For that, we go to menu item Use of Financial Accounting in Companies. Here we can see all companies and all chart of accounts, and we can tune on the chart of account for the company from the date we need. When I click the checkbox for company, the setting of financial accounts form opens. Here I can choose the posting scheme for collect these settings and choose the date for applying. After that, we see the checkbox is turned on and the date of applying posting scheme for a company. The next topic of the master data is the financial accounting groups. There are several types of financial accounting groups: for inventory items, for cash, for vendors and customers, for fixed assets. The financial accounting groups are useful for grouping records with the same ledger accounts to ledger posting. They will be used in workplace of setting ledger posting rules, which we will see some later. Here is the setting and catalogs panel and some more master data items. But before presentation of the financial reports in the system, let's back to presentation and talk about financial report generator opportunities. The main purpose of this tool is preparation of reporting forms with the requirements of IFRS or local standards. A typical set of reports consists of balance sheet, profit and loss, cash flow, and other reports. It can drill down to accounting reports like a trial balance and to the source document. This is a really useful feature. The reports can unite into financial report sets. The system supports version of reports and provides comparison between them. The financial reports have settings of Visual Constructor for the report structure. Here is the list of elements for report structure. Title, text, ledger account is like an item of structure, tables, groups and their subtotals. Derived item is like a formula. Non-monetary items for something what has a quantity, like a quantity of employees, for example. The other interesting feature system provides you is ability to reuse blocks and elements of one report in another report. You can use in design the report structure an item from another report, such as subtotals of a group. Now let me show you the report capabilities in the system. We come back to the General Ledger, Settings and Catalogs panel. Here we can find the Financial Report Types menu item. This is a list of all reports what we can use for financial accounting results. Every report has structure and can be flexible designed for any purpose. All of the reports are non-predefined. Let me open one. Statement of financial position. We can drag and drop the elements from the left panel to the right panel to design the structure of the report. The element in a structure has additional settings like an amount type or filter by extra dimension. Another element like a derived item can use formula and so on. We can select the chart of accounts for the report by clicking Select Charts of Account button, or can even use all of them at the same time. We can check the report by pressing button Check Report. If we need some weight to collect data from database to the report by design what we want. The data of the report can drill down to the detailed report like a trial balance or accounts analysis. Let me click to an amount of a report. And we can drill down from the next amount to the source document list. Let me click and choose Report to Detail. And from there we can open the document and see it or check it debit credit form for seen ledger entries of it. Now I have come back to the report. If the amount in a report is a formula, then the drill down information will be the special report with operands of the formula. Let me show the example to drill down from 2 million amount. And we can drill down more from operands to the details. Let me show the way to open the source document from the formulas amount. The financial report types are the master data of financial accounting, and we can use them in report sets. They are the reports group to logical set. Let's see it. Open the General Ledger menu. There needs to click Financial Report Sets. You can click per record to open additional settings, and there you can add a new report to a set or delete one. Or press Generate button on the header to create all the report set. Or maybe press Create button to get report instance. Here in the dialog form we have to choose some parameters of the report and generate it. I have made some report before. Now we can compare to the instance of the financial reports. The difference will be light with color. Let's back to the presentation. Now I'm going to show you the cases of ledger entries creating. The posting of a document doesn't create ledger entries yet. The ledger entries generated is delayed. There are three ways of creating the ledger's entries. In the debit credit form of the document by button Post to Financial Accounting, in General Ledger Financial Accounting Posting Workplace, And in the last step of the workplace, general ledger, month and closing. Let's stop and at these cases and look at details. When the user posts the document and pressed the debit credit button to see the ledger entries, he can see nothing because there are no entries yet. And user can press post to financial accounting button and get the ledger entries for the document. If the document has ledger posted already, the button is disabled. The next case is to use special workplace for posting of document by period and company. To open it, go to the General Ledger Financial Accounting Posting menu. It has only one big button and some links to the document lists. If the posting to Ledger cannot be done for some reasons or errors, then we see here the red links item with problem lists. And we can check the document or ledger settings for it to fix the problem with ledger posting. And then try to press big button to post these documents again. The last one place for creating posting in the month and closing procedure. The old documents will be posted to Ledger automatically in the last step of closing procedure. If it has some problems with posting, then the link details will open the workplace financial accounting posting, what we had seen before, and there we can fix the problems with settings and documents and then try to close month again. Now we are ready to know about what's new in ERP 257 version. There are a lot of new features in the system. I will not read all of the list, we will see it point by point. And we start from local currency by company for local accounting. Let's talk about the scheme of multiple charts of accounts first. Your enterprise may have several branch companies in different countries. All branches have different currencies, local accountings, and VAT rates. Our solution provides this functionality and allows you to manage different settings in the system. We can use different local currency by company and different chart of accounts for local accounting, and also use the same management chart of accounts for all enterprise. To enable these options, open the Master Data and Settings Enterprise panel and select the Use Multi-Country Accounting option, and then set the main country for your enterprise. When the company list, select the company and there set the country for it and the local accounting currency for the company. And then we need to set VAT rates for country. To use these options, we open Master Data and Settings, VAT Accounting, Import and Export panel. There we select the VAT accounting option to set using of VAT tax, and then select VAT rates list and open the form of rates. Here we can create a new VAT rate for a country. Select the main rate option. The main rate is applied if the rate is not specified in the items or in the contracts. The country and the period fields gives us a possibility to choose the VAT rate in the document. When we back to Master Data and Settings menu and choose the VAT rates of items to set the rates by inventory items. Here we use the workplace to apply group settings of VAT rates in scenarios, specifying rates for a new country or changing rates when the country law changes. The next new feature is what now the system supports international bank account number format in bank accounts. You can copy and paste the number and the system can understand it and delete unnecessary symbols. Now we support the payments information with IBAN and SWIFT in the printed forms. Electronic data interchange for payments now has the support of the exchange format ISO 20022. We also support free export versions of the format, and for developers there is now the opportunity to add own format in code of the system. It is useful in case for special bank format to exchange data when the bank has no ISO format. The next interesting feature is the import exchange rates from the internet. For this, it needs to go to Master Data and Settings menu and select Enterprise panel, and there choose Import European Central Bank Exchange Rates option. When we go to Master Data and Settings, Currencies menu, and open the currency list. Here we can add new currency from the classifier based on ISO 4217, and then set the exchange rate source to import from the internet. This option helps us to get exchange rates from the internet. The system supports the loading exchange rates from the European Central Bank through the internet, or use download exchange rates from the table. We have two types data source of exchange rates. How much is one item of origin unit costs in national currency? For example, it is euro, Great British pound, or dollar. The second is how many national units needs to buy one foreign unit. For example, it is rubles, Turkish lira, and other non-European stable currencies. Also, it's possible to, after loading exchange rates, by the timer. Now see how to set the timer on. Needs to go to Master Data and Settings as usual, and to click Support and Service menu item. In Support and Service panel, click the Schedule and Background Jobs menu item. You need to find the item Import Exchange Rates in the list of jobs, set it to Enable mode, and set time to start in Schedule link. The system will automatically load the exchange rates every day by the schedule. The next new option of accounting policy is the setting how to adjustment or correction in the ledger entries. Two options for generating transaction are: storno is the position of the accounts are preserved as they were in original entries, and the sign of the amount will be with a minus. And a reverse mode is debit and credit accounts are swapped their place and the amounts will be positive. These options are set in the posting scheme list in General Ledger Settings and Catalogs menu. We have seen this form before in a live demo of the system. The next one, we have changed the financial year period for the reports. The company's financial year is a period of time reflected in its annual financial statements. Local accounting sets period for year from January to December, but in IFRS and corporate accounting use financial year with offsets. What problems did we have? There are no problems in operational accounting and month closing procedure. They use month as a period. By financial reports, they are not ready to non-calendar year. There was a period from January to December only. What have we done with that? Now the period is divided into periods by 3, 6 and 12 month from the start date of the report. So if the report is from September to August next year, then with the periodically of the report year will be one financial period from September to August, and so on for the half year and quarter. How it will work? The report period is considered to the beginning and end of a financial year from start date to the report, and the system will automatically calculate the sub-periods. You can't build a report for a period less than the periodically of the report, because the system has to check the report period. The next useful options are to show indicators of comparative periods. We have two types: periods in the past with offset and similar periods of previous years. And additionally, we have a sorting option in chronological order and in reverse order. Here are the options of the screenshot. On the screenshot, the periods with offset and similar periods can be used at the same time in the report. For example, the report is from October to December, the fourth quarter, and the columns of the report will be this additional information to compare data with third quarter of the year and with the fourth quarter of the last year. And the order of columns will be like we said in the report settings. Well, we have arrived to the more important and interesting feature of ERP 257, the new settings of ledger accounts and ledger transactions. This is a new way of ledger posting from operational accounting, simplifying the setup of the settings. It has two ways of the setup: by accounting objects and by correspondence of accounting objects. It has additional report and view of settings. Before we will start to live demo, let's talk about what the accounting objects and their correspondence are. Here is the scheme. The elements of the scheme are the accounting objects. The links between them are the correspondence of accounting objects. The operational accounting has tables and registers for the accounting objects. We named objects as cash, vendor, customers, fixed assets, and other. They store all data in the tables, so the operational accounting is suitable source for ledger postings. We have to set ledger accounts to all of object by default, and then the ledger entries can be placed to financial accounting automatically with such settings. Now let me back to the system. We go to the workplace ledger, general ledger, settings and catalogs, settings of financial accounts by operational data. Here we see three tabs for settings. The first is by accounting objects. There is the list of accounting objects what we have seen before on the scheme: cash, inventory items, fixed assets, customers and vendors, and other objects. In the right side of the form there is a list of ledger accounts. Here we can find the financial accounting groups and ledger accounts for them. We can set the ledger accounts to several selected line by button, fill in ledger account. Then common setting is one ledger account to the financial accounting group, but we can use extensions for the group. For example, check items in warehouse accounting object. Then click extensions, set up link. Here we see additional dimensions for settings ledger postings by company and by warehouses. So the ledger account can be different for companies and warehouses. In the bottom of the list, we see link Set up extra dimensions. It will be useful for manual mapping of extra dimensions of ledger accounts by data from operational source. And the link will be red if after mapping cannot be done. So we have to set up it, in this case, manually. Thanks to these mappings, the ledger account can have various extra dimensions with picking up fields from operational data source. The next step of the workplace is by correspondence. It is useful for fine adjustment of ledger posting settings. Here we can create posting setting for pair of two accounting objects, like a transaction of operational accounting source, and then set ledger accounts to this transaction to create ledger entry. Here we can use additional options. Reverse of the amount signed, ignoring this transaction and do not record it to ledger, manually specification of ledger entry to refine ledger accounts for the documents, and use several rules of postings to create several ledger entries by these accounting objects correspondence. Of course, we can use additional filters for accounting objects and set up extra dimension manually. In this tab by correspondence, there is a special report, correspondence analysis. It helps to create and check settings by correspondence. The report uses operational accounting data and shows the matrix of accounting objects for debit and credit. As usually, you can drill down from amount in the report to details. There you can open original document for amount and try ledger posting there in debit credit view form. The last step of the workplace is view chart of accounts setting. There here we see the list of ledger accounts and the settings for them. Let's find number 28,520 for bank accounts and see what we have there. Here at the right we see the list of all settings for this ledger account. You can open the settings to change it if it needs. Here we see the debit and credit type of using and setting type by correspondence or by accounting object. Let me come back to my presentation to finish my story about what's new in ERP 257. The last one feature I'd like to share with you today is ability to use ledger accounts directly in the documents for special business transactions with other assets and liabilities. Then we use other assets and liabilities in the document which has no accounting objects and settings for them when we need to choose the ledger account directly. For this purpose, click a link in the line of a document named the ledger account field. Set the ledger account from chart of accounts. The extra dimension of ledger account is automatically filled in from the line of the document. You can use the default values. Default accounts are set up in the asset liabilities item. Sometimes it will be useful, but sometimes is not. When the ledger account is often different for business transaction, set the default account to empty and fill it directly in the document. Then there are several charts of accounts. If the multiple account charts of account option is set to on, then the ledger accounts are set for all charts of accounts in tab panels for every chart of accounts. Well, we are just near the finish of our presentation. Let me sum up the general ledger module capabilities. Multiple charts of accounts, local management, IFRS accounting, 2 currency accounting and reporting with functional and presentation currencies. You can set up your accounting model or change the supplied one after importing from demo base. Flexible options for setting up financial reports. Drill down from report to the transaction. Automatic period closing procedure to create ledger entries. And there are a lot of other new features in ERP 5.7 to make system better. That's all I want to tell about financial accounting in ERP World Edition. Thank you for your attention.